What's up, guys? Today I'm doing a review of the Ovale Ego T from OvaleUSA.com. Starter kit is your basic kind of starter kit that comes with, the little pouch, a bunch of carts, two batteries, and it actually came with two of the tank atomizers, but I took one apart because I like to take things apart. Um, Anyway, so basically what you're getting here is you're getting a Genuine Joy Ego, right? With a different type of atomizer than you would from a normal kit. It's a tank atomizer. And what the tank atomizer basically is this whole piece is the atomizer, right? Now there's a little spike in there, and you have no filler in your cartridges, and when you push that in after you've filled it, it punctures the cartridge and starts wicking the juice. So this is basically all the rage right now, and for good reason. It's a fantastic alternative to dripping into an atomizer. So I would say that this unit is for somebody who's advanced, somebody who's already tried a bunch of different e-cigs and has decided that they get the best flavor and best vapor, best overall experience from dripping into an atomizer. But of course, that's a pain in the butt because you don't want to always have to carry around, bottles of juice and every 10 puffs dripping a couple drips in there. This basically drips it in there for you. So you can technically drip while you're out on the go. It works fantastically, but it doesn't work 100% all the time. Sometimes you do get dry hits from the atomizer. Now it's not a burnt taste, but it's a dry atomizer taste, so it's different than if a cartomizer was burning. So anyway, there is a slight bit of diminished vapor. There is a little bit of a lower level to the flavor. So your favorite juice might be slightly less flavorable than it normally is, but overall, it just works really well. So I'm gonna give a little puff and show it off a little. Now that is a 2080 VG to PG mix. Now I've read on the forums that some people have had great experiences with these, and some have had less than great experiences with these. So I'm going to show you kind of how the atomizer works. I'm going to give you some tips on if your experience isn't 100% great, what you could do to make it 100% great. So basically, I destroyed this atomizer taking it apart, but this is the piece that punctures the cartridge, right, or the tank. So it basically has a little bit of wicking material that's stuffed into that little hole, and on the other side you can see that there is the bottom of that wicking material, which basically this is the destroyed bottom portion of the atomizer. Took off some of the metal mesh, but this, right, sits right there, and the juice gets wicked onto this top portion, and then it gets wicked onto this metal mesh and to the center, which is where the atomizer is. Can you see it? So this is actually a atomizer that I used for the majority of my time vaping this unit, and then I went to clean it and it died on me. I probably should have let it dry longer than I did, but I boiled it, and as you can see, I boiled it. You see that black mark right there? That is the actual atomizer wire wrapped around a wicking material. So boiling it did not clean off the atomizer. So basically, what I want to do is I want to take some alcohol here, some rubbing alcohol, and going to just, oops, I gotta open this up. I'm going to see if cleaning this with alcohol or letting it sit in alcohol for about 10 minutes will actually do anything to clean off the atomizer any better than the boiling water that I used. So I'm going to let that sit there, and then I'm going to be back. So I'm going to stop it, and then 10 minutes later I'm going to start it again. Well, it's been like 15 minutes that this has been sitting in here, and it hasn't done anything. It's still all gunked up on the atomizer. So you know what I'm going to do? Let this dry for a couple minutes, and you know, see what happens. Be back. Alright guys, it has dried out, and so anyway, what I want to do now is the atomizer is actually wrapped around some sort of material, so I'm going to see if I can burn it. If I can burn it, then that means that this black stuff on the atomizer may be burnt stuff. If I can't burn it, then that means that is just buildup from e-liquid. So nothing seems to be burning there. Okay, so what I did do is that little cup in there is not ceramic. It seems to be some sort of plastic. As you can see, the atomizer itself did not burn, but some of the metal material got charred a little bit around the edge, and some of that, you can see some discoloration on the portion of the cup that I broke some of it off. So I really don't think that the atomizer or the fabric that's used for the atomizer to be wrapped around has any danger of ever burning. Okay, so the only other fabric that's in here is that little bit right there, right? So let's see if that burns, because that could come in contact with the atomizer. As a matter of fact, I think it would be best if it did come in contact with the atomizer. and that does not seem to burn either. Try again, this time without my fingers so close to it. But I really don't think that it's going to burn. Oh. It looks like it heated some of the fibers up, but it did not burn the fibers. So anyway, so these things seem like they're pretty safe to me. Now the one thing, you've sat through this whole entire video, so you're probably sitting there, and if you're one of the people who has an Ego T or some form of a tankomizer, and you aren't having the greatest experience with it, it's probably because the material in this section, right, needs to be pushed down a little bit, right? So if you're getting a lot of dry burns, which I was having a ton of dry burns with my second atomizer, and the whole thing was that I could sit there and I could go through a whole tank on the first atomizer, in a few hours. And on the second one, it obviously wasn't wicking, because I could barely go through a whole tank. So what I did was I took the atomizer, I took the tank out, and down there, right, basically is this piece, right? Ooh, there you go. So what I did was gently, very gently, I put this into the atomizer and pushed the wicking material down a little bit so that it was getting better contact with the metal mesh and the actual atomizer. Now you don't want to push it too hard because you can actually just push the whole thing out. And if you want to see, this is actually wrapped with some metal wicking material, and that is the portion that is the first thing that touches the juice. So anyway, if it's not working perfect for you, be warned that by doing this you could totally destroy the atomizer. But for me, just gently pushing the wicking material down like that, you can't really see that, but using this, gently pushing the wicking material down, basically took an atomizer from being almost unusable for me to being fantastic like my first one. So anyway, I've shown you a lot of stuff. I've taken stuff apart. At the end of the day, if you already have an Ego, I recommend picking up one of these atomizers and some tanks. If you don't, the Ovale is a great option. Now you will see that these things are taking the e-cigarette community by storm right now, so there's going to be many places in the near future where you can buy them from. But I would say then, if I'm going to use an Ego at this point, I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to use an Ego T, a tank. So I hope you enjoyed the review. and I'll see you guys soon.